So speeches. A speech is a written account of an oral address with a specific purpose in mind. Now, the purpose will be determined by the topic at hand. And the sign of a good speech is capturing and holding the attention of the audience. That's very important. So capturing and holding the attention of the audience. It must also be in paragraph form. That's very important. So the tone, it must be formal or informal, just depending on the audience. You know, if you're giving a speech at your friend's 21st birthday versus if you're giving like, you know, a eulogy at your grandmother's funeral, yeah, things can be a lot different. We need a good opening, a good greeting. We've got to keep it brief and simple, short to the T. Outline the subject of the speech, what's the purpose of it, and highlight 3 or 4 key ideas to discuss. Remember, these must be 4 completely distinct points. Alternatively, they can run on, and we must conclude. Thank everyone for their time, and just give an appropriate closure to the speech, all in all. So with a formal speech, it is written and presented in more spoken form. It must be well structured and easy to follow. In terms of an informal speech, these are not usually prepared, okay? These are more impromptu type speeches, and they're made in response to a request at the gathering. So you're almost thinking on your feet here. But formal speech, prep beforehand. So here we've got an example of a speech. So instruction: you as a former learner of our school were asked to deliver a motivational speech to the current matric class. Write the speech that you will deliver. So this is a more formal speech. We just got to motivate them to absolutely nail their final examination. So this is why dreaming big is not always good. So good morning, Matrix. I have an important question for you. Which way of thinking is better, dreaming big or being satisfied with small things? Okay, very interesting. That's a nice rhetorical device used straight off the bat, forcing the reader to be engaged and to ponder the question. So, I mean, what do you guys think? Personally, I'm not much of a dreaming big person anymore. I guess, you know, that ambition, like, it was a good part of my youth now. I'm in my early 20s and I'm just thinking to myself, look, I'm just so satisfied with where I am right now. Like, life has been so kind to me. I've been able to travel. I've been able to have really good relationships. I've had a pet. I'm in a stable relationship, decent friendships. I've got like 1 or 2 friends though, but I guess that's enough, right? You just need like 1 friend. I mean, you don't really need any friends, do you? But, you know, you always have yourself, but, you know, having a friend won't hurt. So, yeah, I'm in a pretty good space. I'm also in good health. All my limbs are working. My 5 senses are in good touch. So, yeah, I'm completely satisfied with where I am. But I guess, you know, having a little more won't hurt. But I guess the danger is, like, how much is enough? Like, where does your need for more end? So my whole life, I thought I was going to be huge, you know, this major sensation. I constantly scored at the top of my class. But over time, however, my motivation turned into something a bit unhealthy. I started to believe that I was entitled to success. And the first ominous sign came when I didn't get a perfect score at the university entrance exams. So I guess, you know, this individual, their ego was almost getting to them. You know, they've always been this top achiever. Then it became a bit unhealthy when they weren't nailing down all their assessments. So I started to feel like a failure. Now, you're probably wondering, what does it have to do with dreaming big? And here's my answer. I always dream big. And this made me overlook tiny successes. So dreaming big is good as it helps a person to set far-reaching goals and do bold and, you know, great things with their life. But it can only work if a person has a healthy relationship with failure and takes tiny steps. So my wish for you is that you'll always dream big despite setbacks on your road to success. Now, I know this is a pretty quick speech, but remember, it needs to be within our 180 or so word count. So, yes, we need an appropriate greeting. We need a bit of a hook. You know, think of something clickbaity. Like, I always think, you know, of those first lines in the Mr. Beast videos. Oh, I spent 100 hours in the Great Pyramids, you know, something like that. Hook the audience. And the best way to do so, especially in an English paper 3 in a more formal setting, is to use a rhetorical device. Okay, ask a question. Okay, and we have 2 key points here about being huge and then failure and, yeah, then dreaming big. So I just want to go back. It's 3 or 4 key ideas, or maybe 2 ideas that are well discussed. Or maybe you have another idea that is in the paragraph. I try to keep 1 idea per paragraph. It's just easier to read, easier to mark, and the odds of you scoring a higher mark are just, well, larger. So you've got an exercise here. You were asked to make an impromptu speech at your friend's 21st birthday party. So this is not going to be too formal. Write down the speech. You have been asked to address the grade 11s on the challenges of being a grade 12 learner. Write down the speech. Okay. So we've got an informal speech here, and we've got a formal speech here too. Okay, so if you guys would like, let's give it a bit of a go in the comments. Let's help each other out. Let's mark it. Look, you can do the informal one where you're just, chatting some stuff at your friend's 21st. Or you could give something a bit more formal to the grade 11s, just almost warning them of the challenges that are to come in matric.